Okay, so this is the Buddy Town board game that's being built for December 2020 Arena. It's got a whole bunch of mini games around the side as well, and I'm going to explain the way it works. The basic premise is that you are going to be spinning or I will be spinning a spinner for everyone, and you'll be moving around the board, starting from here, and trying to get to the end of the board. First person to make it to the end wins. Each tile around the entire structure is one space. So this box right here with the bear rug, that's the first space. So say you were to roll a 3, you would go 1, 2, 3. Right at the start here, you can see there's a little sign that says you can choose either direction. So right at the start, you can actually choose to go left or right. Um, Both take you around to the same spot, but there are different effects on each one. And in each of the spaces that you land on, if you land on a space with a box, then it will have an effect that affects you. If you land on an empty space, then nothing happens. So the basic idea is that I'm going to be standing up here. Let me just climb up here really quickly. I'm going to be standing up here and spinning the spinner for everyone. So you can see it's a 1 to 6. And we'll take turns going in order, and then you will move the number of spaces that you see. So for instance, first person would move 4 spaces. So right off the bat, you'd be able to choose left or right. So you'd go 1, and you can choose left or right. So you go 2, 3, 4. You don't have to jump, but I'm just making it easier to see. So each tile is 1 space. I'd stop here since there's no toxic box. There's no effect. That's the end of my turn. If I were to say land here, I'm not going to show what the effects are, but the effects will often tell you to do either a mini game or tell you to do move backwards or forwards a certain number of spaces. If you get told to go backwards and forwards, you do not trigger the next space. So for instance, if this piece of paper right here said to move forward 2 spaces, it would go 1, 2. It would not then open the box here. It's only the space that you land on from spinning. If 2 players land on the same space, so say someone else landed on this space, then they're going to face off in a one-on-one rock fight in Santa's Ducking Fungeon, which is right over here. You're going to have 2 players in here with rocks. They're going to battle it out. Spectators can stand up top here. And there will be various other mini games as well that use Santa's Ducking Fungeon for different purposes. Some are fighting, and there are other fun ones as well. So that is Santa's Ducking Fungeon. And then I'm going to give a quick tour of the board, but before I do that, I'm just going to show off what these other mini games are here. So over here, actually I'm not going to go over there and show it, but this is the shooting gallery. I only have 1 in so far. I'm going to be putting in a second one, but the basic idea is you press the button here, the doors open for 5 seconds, and you have 5 seconds to shoot out the targets. There's 3 targets in there, and that's always active there. So as you move through the board, each square and triangle are board spaces. So for instance, if I were to get here and roll a 2, it would be 1, 2. This is a space right here. And the other important thing about the game board is this does have chutes and ladders rules, or snakes and ladders rules. So the chutes or snakes are the spiral staircases, and if you land on a space with a ladder, then you get to go up. For instance, right here, if you were to land on this space right here, there's a ladder hatch. Bam, you get to go up. Oh, there we go. And then you'd be on that space up there. So as you go around the board, you'll see there's a couple shortcuts around the board. So if you land here, there might be a nice shortcut with that ladder hatch. Come around the board this way. Each of these tiles, the triangles and the squares, are all spaces. All the stairs are spaces as well. I used wood and stone to make sure that you could tell which space was different from which one. You're going around this way. Here is one of the first chutes, so if you land on that space right there, you go down to the bottom here. And then you have to go along from the bottom, and it's a little bit of a longer pathway. Maybe you get lucky and get one of these ladders and then go all the way back up. So this is the oops, just go back here. This is the top path up here. It's a little bit shorter. This right here, I'm warning you, is the worst space in the entire game. I'm not going to say what happens until someone lands on it, but you do not want to land on this space right here. This one right here will make you so upset. As you go around here, this is moving towards the end of the board. Again, these are all spaces as well, the ramps. This one right here, there are two paths. You'll have to read the note to know which path you can take. And then we get into the final stretch of a couple, 3, 2, 1, and if you land on this space right here, climb up to the top and press the celebration button. And there'll be fireworks that will say, woo! There is one more minigame which I forgot to show. Just run over there really quickly. Right here we have the respawn point, so when you arrive I will have the TC open and you can place down bags. I will not have bags for you on the first day, but you can place bags right down there. And over here is pressure pad peril. If you're a spectator, by the way, you can stand in any of the watchtowers or anywhere off of the game board. Anywhere is okay as long as it's not on the game board. And this is pressure pad peril. You can see right here. This will be used in 2 of the spaces, and it brings back one of the challenges we did in a past wipe where you have to jump from rope ladder to rope ladder. I fell out that time, but if you make it to the end, then that's a success. If not, there are a couple pressure pads that might punish you. The last thing to remember is to dress warmly because it is a winter climate here. And the other thing as well is to bring something with you that you can use as a token. So for the most part, you are going to be your own game piece. But as you can see, there are various mini games where you're going to have to leave your space. So make sure that you have something that kind of stands out as your token. So for instance, if I wanted to use a mace, that way I can go fight in Santa's ducking function and know that when I come back, this is the space that I was on. So make sure that you place it down properly. It can be kind of hard in these triangles in the corner and stuff like that. Just make sure that it stays on the space that you're going to be moving away from, and that will be your token when you're not there. Other than that, make sure to bring some food because I don't have a lot, but I do have pretty much everything else set up. This right here is the jail. There are spaces that will send you to jail and directly to jail, and you'll have to stay in here for 3 turns. If you roll a 5 or a 6, which is right up there, if you get a spinner with a 5 or a 6, then you will move out, and you can move 5 or 6 spaces starting with this one right here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 would be this staircase, or 6 would be here, and this is a good space. If you get 6 out of jail, it could be good. There will be get out of jail free cards in future iterations, but not in the first week. Other than that, if you have ideas on how to change the rules going forward, this is the game board that will stick, but the rules will change week to week. So if you have some ideas to add, but each of these boxes is going to have some pretty cool effects, mini games, ideas of drinking games, Seen It, Monopoly, Charlie McDennis, drinking games. Did I say drinking games? Maybe I've been drinking too much. And yeah, I really like these weather effects. They're making it look really cool. So that's the arena for this wipe, the Buddy Town board game. Hopefully you can come out and participate or spectate. I believe that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching.